The only thing more dangerous than a Democrat Party committed to destroying our mutual compact, the Constitution, is the GOP leadership that is unwilling or mentally incapable of stopping them. The GOP seems loath to even force Democrats to pay a price for what they've done to us. But we conservatives are not fearful of confronting the Democrats, nor do we shrink from destroying the leftists' carefully crafted narrative and making them own their hypocrisy. To survive, Americans must dump deadly, duplicitous Democrats. That's our rule of thumb in today's preamble. Yesterday, in marking the anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech, the propagandists for the Democrats' official Twitter handle were busy pushing narrative over facts, saying, quote, Emmett Till was only 14 years old when he was kidnapped and brutally lynched while visiting family in Mississippi 68 years ago today. 6 decades later, Joe Biden signed the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act into law, making lynching a federal hate crime. It was long overdue, end quote. Well, not to put too fine a point on this, Democrats, but a Democrat occupier of the Oval Office signing a bill that outlawed Democrat atrocities in the Democrat-controlled Jim Crow South is in keeping with what you Democrats do. The Democrats break things, then they want credit for somewhat fixing the things they've broken. Democrats spin us into oblivion, then wanted credit for cutting record spending to still unacceptable levels. Joe Biden and his Democrats' policies have led to the highest gas prices in American history. Then they wanted credit after their policies brought the American economy to its knees, dropping demand and the aforementioned gas prices. And after Democrats terrorized blacks in the Democrat-controlled Jim Crow South, they want credit for signing a bill into law outlawing their conduct 68 years after the fact. In truth, the Democrats are pretending to celebrate Dr. King, even though the party and the American left have turned their backs on his teachings. Dr. King's dream saw an America where our people were not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Modern-day Democrat orthodoxy, driven by cultural Marxism and the hate-whitey ideology of critical race theory, now says everything in society must be seen through racial lenses, must be 100% contingent on the color of one's skin. In essence, the Democrats are taking us back 68 years or more, erasing our colorblind united country. But about that, the Democrats are saying vote for them after they atoned for what they did 68 years ago. Allow me to show you the Democrats have not changed at all. Their policies are still divisive and still killing little children. An 11-year-old Ohio boy was killed by an illegal alien, the cause of a school bus crash. Where the bus rolled over, the illegal alien was let into America by Democrats in 2022. But the Democrats don't want you focused on that little boy killed this month. They want you focused on a 14-year-old boy who was wrongly killed 68 years ago. But not one of them has condemned the killing of the young white boy at the hands of their illegal aliens. Another 11-year-old, this time a little girl, was raped and murdered, her body stuffed under her bed. The military-aged illegal alien who was accused of the crime was welcomed into America across our open southern border by Democrats. These are the same Democrats who say Americans should vote for them because they care about the wrongful death of a 14-year-old boy 68 years ago. But none of these leftists have condemned the open border policies that led to the death of a little Latina girl in Houston this month. Not only will Democrats not condemn or reverse course on their deadly and lawless policies, they're hell-bent on making sure more Americans and more of America's children become victims. In surprising and exclusive reporting from CNN, it's revealed that the incompetent leaders of the Democrats and the Biden regime are scrambling after a smuggler with known ties to Barack Obama's baby, ISIS, was allowed to smuggle illegal aliens into the U.S. Now, I'd like to tell you exactly how many millions of illegal aliens have been let into our nation courtesy of Democrat policies and GOP timidity. But apparently, illegal immigration is so good for you and your family, the government has determined that it's best to keep that information away from you. A former immigration judge says that the only reason for our compromised government to hide this information is to, quote, hide the fact that it is releasing more than 100,000 aliens per month into the United States. You know, I've said this before, I don't think Democrats wish to be Americans anymore. I say this based on their actions and their policies. Everything that set our nation apart, our freedom, our liberty, the rule of law, and a government of, by, and for the people has been rejected by the left-wing loons. Many of them are not even bothering to lie about their hatred of this country any longer. In this conservative's mind, their policies and views are illegitimate. The majority of Americans, according to the polls anyway, feel the same way I do. So many of you might be asking, why do these Democrats persist? Well, the reason is simple. The Republican Party is unwilling or mentally incapable of making our enemies, Joe Biden's words, not mine. They're incapable of making Democrats pay a price for the death and destruction they are dishing out to all of us. Now it's up to all of you Americans out there to determine who is more worthless, the anti-American party or the party that refuses to stop them.